What up, Doe? This is MRK SX. Thanks for tapping back in with Confessions of a Failed Family Man. I am that failed family man. And fortunately for me, I got my guy Vonte here with me today to discuss a very important topic that has been on my mind lately. And that topic is the difference between understanding what a husband is, what a family man is, and what being married is. It has come to my understanding that those are three separate things. I don't have it all together, but as I consider the idea of possibly entering into a relationship one day, I think that those are concepts that I need to thoroughly go through. So before I continue, man, my man Vonte, man, introduce yourself to the people, bro. Tell them whatever you want to tell them about yourself.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? What's up, man? I appreciate you for having me today. Uh, yo, post came across my page, and as soon as I seen it, it was automatic relatable. And then not only was it relatable, but it was some things up in there that I seen that I didn't know quite if I'll be able to endure it myself as a man. But with similar situations are things that we all go through as far as like breakups and divorce. I know that a lot of the things that you experience and the things that you just share with us on social media is very much so possible to have it to happen to any man. I don't feel like no man is kind of prone to that not occurring to him. So when I seen that, it was just like mandatory, especially the space I was in at the
Oh, we lost him. He was saying that when his phone rang, it kind of kicks him off. It's all good though. Hopefully he'll come back real soon. Um, yeah, Vontae hit me up, man. Something about what I was saying related to him and going through his own situations. Up, he is. He back. All right, you back, bro. Go ahead.
I'm sorry about that, brother.
All good.
Yeah, man, I just feel like it was mandatory for me to reach out to you and converse with you. And we had us a great conversation. I appreciate you for your time as
Mhm.
always. And man, I'm excited for you to have me, man. Let's see if we can put something down that other men can pick up on it and be able to walk them through their situations, men or women for that matter.
Listen, man, we two black men chopping it up, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We not talking about the weather of last night's game.
yeah, for
You know what
sure.
I mean? We have a real
Yeah,
conversation about real things. And unfortunately, hopefully he'll come back in. Unfortunately, we don't have the opportunity to have very real conversations with one another. It's kind of like a therapist. You know, when people, I've heard people say over the years that it's easier to talk to a therapist than it is people that you actually know. Nah, you good, bro. Uh-oh, he don't. I think his phone is so he got a business. He has a business. He owns a party bus business, and it's thriving. His party bus business is thriving. So a lot of people are reaching
it's
out
a
to him.
good fun.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
apologize. I
Nah,
apologize for that.
nah, I get it. I
Yeah,
get it, man. Get your money, you dig? But
yeah, yeah,
nah,
for sure.
yeah,
I
I was
just put
telling.
it on Do Not Disturb. This is my first time ever putting my phone on Do Not Disturb, by the way.
Okay, cool. We're gonna make sure we make the time worth it. And I
Right.
want to make sure, but before we get out of here at the end, man, I definitely I want you to show people the party buses, bro. Like it's a
Yeah,
fly
fact.
situation. You know what I mean? My man Vonte is a young brother out here really getting it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for
And
sure.
I always try to highlight um business owners because a lot of times we tell each other to get into business, but it's disingenuous because 99.9% of business ideas don't work. It just is what it is. Like they don't work. And so when somebody's idea actually works, we need to applaud that and we need to put that out there and make sure that we celebrate you, bro. You know, and
For
before we
sure.
get out of here, we definitely gonna do that.
100%, man.
But
I appreciate that.
all good. So I wanted to kick this particular conversation off by defining some things. You know, when we say husband, the title husband, I'm curious to know in your life, who were some of the earliest husbands you were introduced to in your life? You could just name them. You ain't got to go all deep into it, but just who was like some of the earliest husbands you were around?
Well, the first time I've been to like a wedding or something of that nature was my uncle. I believe I was probably like 6 to 7 years old. He was somebody, but I kind of wasn't in their house to kind of see hands on how he was as a husband. Um,
No, just who was a husband? Who do you remember having the title? He was one of them. Like he was one of the people that you okay, he a husband. Even though you didn't know what that meant, you knew that he was somebody's husband.
right, my dad married my
Okay,
mom.
see,
Yeah, when
got
I
you.
was like 7. Yeah,
Got you. So your first understanding of the title husband was your father. Any other
yeah.
guy? Okay, your father, your uncle, any other people?
My grandpa.
Okay, cool. So you had a grandfather, your uncle, and your father that were all husbands. For me, it would have been my nana's husband, Robert, and then my father was married, but to someone else, and my sister's grandparents were married too. So those would be the earliest husbands.
Mhm.
Now my my grandmother's husband just kind of sat at the table all day and listened to music. He was retired already, and
Uh-huh.
he would just kind of sit at the table all day and listen to music until it was time for him to run to the stove for my grandmother. So that's what he did. He ran to the stove and he sat at the table and he listened to her complain to him all day. So I saw him as like a really docile old man. He just kind of sat there. I walked to the store with him and she fussed at him. Every now and again, he would go hang out with his buddies and come home drunk. She would be on his head from the moment he walked in to the moment. I never saw them ever be affectionate, not even hold hands, nothing,
Yeah.
not hug, not anything. Um, I would say that my father, whenever I was around him, when I was over his house with my stepmother and them, he was never there. He was either working or somewhere else. So in that household, I just knew that dad wasn't around. He was busy working or whatever. Um,
Hmm.
my sister's grandfather, who was married to her grandmother, granddad, he just kind of sat at the table and chewed on a cigar and had wild Irish rolls. He was a deacon in the church. So he'd either be reading the Bible or running around for her. So I saw men as people that kind of waited to run around for their women. Like that was my that was my introduction to whatever a husband was a guy
Right,
that just kind of did things for his wife, whatever that was.
right,
You know what I
right.
mean? And he was essentially told what to do. Like he was told what to do, and he did it. Or like I said, in the case of my father, he just was always in the field. He was. I never seen it. Like if he did stop and play with us for a few minutes, like it was a big treat. It was like a really okay. Dad is here for a minute. Dang, like we better
Right,
make the best of this. That was just the vibe,
right,
as a
right,
kid. If we was outside hooping and he pulled up and shot a couple shots, we like, man, hell yeah, dad is
right,
is here for a second, but then he
right.
back in the win. He back in the win.
Uh-huh.
So how about yourself, man? What was your experience in terms of
So,
people,
um,
those guys?
I say mine was kind of like the total. It's kind of like the opposite of
Okay,
what your experience was. So my when and I really haven't thought about this until this question just came about for
it's
real.
all good.
But it's these are great things to think about though, right?
Mhm.
Because then it kind of can give you some type of reason in your head space when it comes to relations. So
Amazing. I'm saying.
I'll say my first introduction of a husband was a toxic situation. So my dad was, handsome. He was having a lot his way at the time, you know, and he was something that you would call like a player, you know. And
Mm.
so growing up, I'm from Oakland. I'm from Oakland, California. So growing up, these type of examples was all around me.
Mm-hmm.
Different dudes that just had that sauce, that just had that spirit, that just had that playerness in them. And my dad was somebody that I honestly full hearted thought that was just an absolute magnificent player. So I
For
kind
sure.
of wanted to be, yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I remember being like 4 or 5 years old, and my mom asked me, uh, she asked me something like in the nature of like what I wanted to be when I grow up, and I said I wanted to be I want to have a lot of girlfriends like my dad,
Mm.
and it hurted her. she started crying, and she damn near, I don't know if she whooped my ass or something, but she was very mad about it.
She
You
was
know what I
hurt.
mean? Yeah, because these are something that she was going through at the time that was hurtful for her. But of course, I couldn't recognize that or see that. Only thing I seen was my dad. He had a gold Z with a lot of bang in it, the T top. He'd
Mm.
ride me around, jump out the T top, holler at females. I'm just sitting looking at him,
But
just
you
like,
saying, but just to cut in, you describing your pops, but you also seeing how people react to your pops,
yes, how my
right?
mom
So
reacted. Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? So it's like
right.
you want to be like your dad, but a lot of it is because of how the world is reacting to him.
Exactly, exactly.
I
I
just
mean,
want to
I
add that
liked
in
it a
there.
lot. I liked it. I liked it. I admired so much about him at the time. I admired how he used to walk down the stairs. You know,
Mm, mm,
me and my uncle had imaginary games about what we thought his life was really like outside of the
mm,
home. You know what I mean?
mm.
Uh,
He was
but
confident, like he was confident.
he
He
was
you
he
know
just he just had the he just
he
had the
had this, that
sauce.
sauce. He just had
Yeah,
it. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
definitely,
yeah.
definitely. So, but me, I was a part of his marriage when him and my mom got married. You know, they went
Mm.
downtown to the courthouse and got married.
How
It
old
was
were you?
nothing that was pretty much different for me. After that marriage, it was still the same toxic things. Like, of course,
How
this
old were you? How old were you
I
when
was like
they?
I was like 7 or 8
Okay.
years old. Uh, but
Are
it
you
was
their
still
only child? Are you
no.
their only child?
So it's me and I have a little sister.
Okay. Mm,
Um, and she was, I don't know if my mama was pregnant around this time or if she just had my little sister.
mm.
But it was like the same things. My dad was driving, which is crazy. He was driving to San Francisco for like a transportation company where he was driving like Lincoln town cars and stuff like that. He used to dress up in the suit. And so, these was all the things that I looked at. But like I said, as far as to circle back into the original question, nothing really changed within that marriage from my remembrance. My mom was still going through his pockets, finding numbers with
You
Tiffany on
saw
there.
you physically saw your mom going through his pockets?
I physically saw the blow up after he gets
Okay.
caught cheating.
Hmm.
He got caught cheating a lot. So
But you noticed because you was listening to the arguments, is what I'm saying. You know what happened.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
got you, got you. She
But
was going through his pockets.
after a while, it just became the norm for me. And I thought that I kind of seen this as how a relationship's supposed to go.
Well, who a husband is. This what husbands do, right? Because not he a
This is what
husband.
husbands do. Right. This is
Yeah,
what
yeah,
husbands
yeah,
do.
yeah.
And
Or
so
your
and so
pockets.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
kind of that was kind of like my example as far as being in house with a
Hmm.
husband. That really wasn't the greatest example, but it kind of can play out into like what I
No, but
naturally
it's
thought a
yeah,
relationship was supposed to have been
yeah, for sure, for
growing
sure.
up, right? But then
Yeah.
also my grandma and my grandpa, uh, they're not married, but they've been together for close to like 45 years, right? For like
Is this
40
is
years.
this your mother's parents or your father's parents?
This my mom parents.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So they went through they went through their drug addiction and all of that, right? But it's like they can't live without each other,
Mm.
you know. And although it is so crazy, this like the greatest long term relationship I've witnessed in my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
These people can't live without each other. They
Mm.
never jumped the broom though. Got they never signed the paper to legally be married, but they've been with each other my whole life, living through their whole journey.
Now, do
And
you know that? Do you know that because I'm saying in terms of not jumping a broom and all your understanding of that is that was that information given to you by them, or is that like your family? You guys have a family narrative about them, or have you ever actually talked to your grandmother and your grandfather and they told you anything about that?
no, no, no. They told me, and at one point I was thinking about paying for them to have a marriage. I mean, to have a wedding. But
Mm,
their story is so beautiful, bro. Like they sit back and they reminisce about stories in 1970 something and be
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, man, your grandma had that afro. She was looking like a
Mm-hmm.
bad, you know what I'm saying? So, they got a beautiful story, man. Although, they haven't like got legally married, I still look at them as a union. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So, in my eyes, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go sign legal paper to be a union with someone, but others might look at that a little different.
Got you. But it worked for them, so yeah,
You know?
yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So he never had the actual official title of husband, but he lived that experience. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean, all your life. And it was uncle. You said you wasn't really around your uncle though, but he was married. He did get
Yeah.
married.
Yeah. Yeah. He
Okay, is
had
he
a.
still married today?
Not to the same woman, nah. I
Okay,
don't believe so. Nah. That's just the
got you.
first wedding. That's the only actual wedding I've been to where it was like
Mhm.
an actual wedding.
And he not like you said, he not even with her anymore.
No, no.
So it's fair to say like the title of husband wasn't really something to aspire to. How about I say it like that? Like being somebody's husband wasn't something that it looked like you should want to do. Like you didn't
Right.
really see any benefits to having that as a title. Uh-oh, he went out. Hopefully he'll be back in.
I'm still here.
Yo, you still there, bro?
Uh,
Uh-oh, it went black. It went black.
I'm here. Can you see me?
Nah. Okay, you back. You back now. Now, so what I was saying was it's fair to say that being somebody's husband, like I said, you wanted to be a lot of things, you know, and mostly we want to be things because we see other people being things, right? I mean, that's usually why you want to be a thing, because you see somebody else
Mm-hmm.
being it, and you want to be you want to do that thing, but you want to do it your way. But typically, it starts with seeing somebody else be it, like you say, getting money, being fly, having the sauce, whatever it is, getting respect from your
Mm-hmm.
community. So in the same way here, being somebody's husband never looked like something I should ever want to aspire to do. But the concept of being somebody's husband was introduced to me. Me being a husband, it was introduced to me by a high school sweetheart that I just wanted to have sex with in peace. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't had no plans after high school. So she was the one that came to me about the military, and she thought it would be a dope idea, a great way for us to get out of here. To me, it sounded like the perfect thing to go have sex in peace. But the problem is that when you go in the military, you got to go away, and you can't really choose where you're gonna wind up. So I didn't know what kind of access I would have to her. Neither did she. So she started pushing this idea of getting married, which at first was real foreign to me because, like I said, I didn't really see what being somebody's husband would do. But she had a lot of anxiety. So when I agreed to this concept, it seemed to really calm her down. So I was like, okay, cool. If I just be your husband, whatever that means, you'll calm down. So I proposed to her. She calmed down. I went back to having sex in peace. So that taught me that if after a while, when I'm with a woman, as soon as this comes up, as soon as she start kind of tripping about what's gonna happen with our future, I know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like go get a ring so I can get back to having sex in peace. I
Right.
say it real direct like that because it's honest. It's really how I felt in hindsight. I
Mm-hmm.
just wanted, even when I was around them, especially when you young like that, you doing all of the in between stuff because you're trying to get back to the sex. I'm saying when you young, it's like, yeah, we hanging out, I'm spending money, we doing all of this, but this is for her. You know what I mean? Really, I'm just trying to get back to the sex and then get back to whatever else I was doing. Like I'm spending
Right.
time because I need her to, it's like the more she like me, the more I can enjoy the sex in peace, you know,
Right.
and I can get more access to her and all this. It's like the better she feels, the more I have access to I want. what I want, but I never
Right.
really considered like what it meant to be somebody's husband. I didn't know any. I didn't even ask any of the women. I don't know if you ever did either. Like if you ever asked a woman exactly what she wants from you in that role. Like I know you're married now. You going through some things right now. So I just ask you directly, before you got married, had you had a conversation with her about what it would mean for you to be a husband? Just that. You don't have to go no further than that. But just did that conversation ever come up?
Not that I can recall. No.
Hmm. It just kind of seems like we all just kind of like know it for some reason, right? Like we just kind of like
Hmm.
have this idea that we just kind of know whatever, even though we never been it. Like we never actually been somebody's husband. We
Hmm.
just feel I don't know what it is, but it's like we think it's just an extension of being the boyfriend, right? Because the fiance thing is kind of weird. It sounds kind of cool. It's like a nice little placemaker, but actually being somebody's husband, I never had it. Okay, cool. So okay, so now uh people being, let's say family man. Let's go to family man. What family men did you grow up around? The same ones, or were there any other family men? It could be you had friends that were in a family and you was cool with their pops. You know what I mean? Whatever. Like, did you grow up around any family men?
Um, no, I can't really say I have. I haven't really grew up around no family man, to be honest with you,
Mm,
besides like what my dad was doing in my house at the
mm-hmm,
time, or my grandfather when he moved. Yeah, when I had to move with my grandfather,
mm-hmm.
um, that was an example of what a family man was for the moment. But as far as just like being deep enhanced into a family to where I can witness how a family man operates, I really didn't have that opportunity
Well,
completely.
how would you say, since you didn't have any points of reference, can you remember what your idea of a family man would have been? Like, what did you think a family man was? Like, an example would be dude that paid all of the bills. You know, like what did you
Mhm.
think that role entailed? You know, you didn't have anybody modeling it for you. Like, where would you have
I
gotten it
kind of
from?
really didn't even understand the term of a family man until I felt like I became one,
Mm,
right? So with and how I became one was just natural life, you
mm-hmm,
know, and what I prioritized and who I seen as my direct family and how I had to kind of differentiate what extended family was from the ones that I created for my household.
mm-hmm,
So and my goals and what I need to do to make sure that my direct family is in the best position possible. So if you say something like that, then yeah, it would be being a provider,
mm-hmm,
um, being a protector. These are the things that we kind of understand as what a natural man is, right?
mm-hmm,
Is a provider, a protector, a teacher, and these are the things that I always strive to be
mm-hmm.
for my family.
But how would you say we all know or we know? But how do we know? Like, what's the example? Like, where you acted it out from? Like, where you where are like, yeah, like where you getting that from? What do you think you getting
So
that
where
from?
I got it from, like once again, man, I'm giving my dad a lot of props in this conversation, which is pretty
Mm-hmm,
dope, right? But
mm-hmm,
um, like my dad kind of showed me early that part of being a man was, for one, being self-sufficient,
mm-hmm.
being able to know how to clean your own clothes, clean your own house, cook your
Okay.
own food. Uh, and small examples of my when I was growing up, my dad putting together a TV stand,
Mm-hmm,
or something was going wrong with the cable and my dad fixed it. Those
mm-hmm,
was different things those was different seeds that was implanted in me to be
mm-hmm,
like, okay, this is what a man is. A man fix
mm-hmm,
things when broken, you know.
mm-hmm,
Uh,
mm-hmm.
a man can go in the kitchen and cook his own food. A
Mm,
man washes his own clothes. So it's just like a level of being self-sufficient. And not only that, also being intelligent. My dad
mm,
was always kind of heavy on education,
mm,
So from that, I picked up that, you know, women are attracted to men with with a level of intelligence. You want to
mm.
be able to teach your woman different things. You want to be able to show your woman different things. And these was all the examples of what was attractive and what was the standard of being a man to
Got
me.
you. Now, what about how he related to your mom? Like, what did you learn from him in terms of how to deal with women? Like, I mean, this being the husband, that raised you. What did you pick up from him
It When I look back on it, it was nothing good that I picked up on him from
in
being
terms of that?
a good man to my mom, besides being a protector and a provider. As far as being emotionally there, or being emotionally protective of my mom, I never seen that from him.
Mm.
I just seen a lot of toxic things play out, and that's like my memory of their relationship.
Were you close? Were you
Besides,
close with your mom?
yeah, yeah.
So, how did you, as a young boy, did that make you look at your father like when they would get into it? You saw him not being nurturing to her and her not feeling right towards him. Did that make you feel any ways towards him?
No, I never did,
Hmm.
because like I looked at it as being normal. Now,
Mm.
they used to have different arguments and fights and stuff. I used to kind of be scared, like, that my mom was
Hmm.
hurt, or if I seen my mom hurting, I
Mm.
wanted to kind of be there to console her for different things, but it just seemed normal to me. It didn't seem like, I didn't even look at my dad like the villain. I
Mm.
never
Mm.
looked at him like the villain. You feel me? It's
Mm.
kind of because I always had some type of heavy love for him, and I always, looked up to him in different ways. So I wasn't really able to see him as the full out villain, even in the midst of me seeing him hurt my mom.
So do you think that informed in you later on in your own relationships that getting into it with a woman is just a natural thing you do? Like
Yeah,
it's just part of it all, right? Like you're gonna get into it with her, so when you do,
she
it's just
tripping.
part of it. Yeah. Because that's how and also he was handling his business in the other ways. So you think it kind of maybe made it balance out in a way to you. He was a provider. He was a protector. So he was doing all the big stuff. I'm asking. I'm not trying to give you ideas. I'm saying,
Hmm.
well, did you
Hmm.
did you kind of reason with it at all in that particular space? Like he was good in all other aspects, just this one. So.
No, I was too young, pretty much, to kind of be able to analyze it in a deeper manner at the time.
Mm,
I wasn't quite able to analyze it completely
mm,
until I became older, and I went through my own situations, and I was
mm,
asking him about certain things that he went through in a
mm.
relationship. And that's kind of how I was able to analyze it myself, like, just different things that I put my relationship through.
Are they
Kind of
still
was like,
together? Are your parents still together?
no, 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 no.
Okay, cool.
Nah.
You told me you
And it was
told me
kind of like I
something
always kind of
real.
seen it like I kind of always seen it a little bit like two-sided too, because my mom also used to cheat on my dad, you know?
And
So
how do you know this? Listening to their arguments, or you knew some other way?
yeah, like so, my dad was in the street, so like he'd go to jail or something, and when he go to jail, another dude come around. So I
Mm,
kind of went through like the uncles coming late night, you know what I'm
mm,
saying?
And how old
Uh
how old we how old are you at this time you talking?
I was still young, and I used to I hated everything about it,
Mm.
because in
You
my
know
head
what
I
you
didn't
you
want
know what
nobody.
your dad. That's what you you know what your
Yeah,
dad. Yeah, and
yeah,
and
yeah.
watching her be happy with another man.
It never made me
Yeah,
happy.
yeah. I grew up.
Yeah,
I grew up with a single mom that dated. She took me on some of her dates, and
yeah,
when I would, one of the most embarrassing things to happen to me as a kid would be like coming home and it's a car in the driveway. I don't know that car, but I know my mom be dating, so it's probably a man in there. And we just got done hooping down the street. And you know how when you coming up the street as a crew, like you know, somebody dribbling the ball, you know what I mean? Y'all just kind of like moving as a crew, and then
Mm-hmm.
somebody be like, "Yo, Mark, who is that at your house?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's
Right.
like, oh, I don't know. And then as we outside, the dude coming out the front door, you know what I mean? It's something like, bro, it was hella embarrassing, bro.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
or like to you know, the living room where I would chill at. I'm in the living room and somebody come over and all of a sudden it's like, get out my living room.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Just like
Right.
as a kid, like being handled that way. You know what I mean? It's like I don't like it. I ain't like it. I ain't like seeing dudes sit next to my mom close on the living room couch. You know,
Right.
and they would like offer me money. I don't know if any of those guys ever offered you money. Like they would offer me
Yeah.
money, tell me to
Yeah.
run to the store, you know, and then
Mm-hmm.
I come back from the store and him and my mom are gone. They're in the
Right.
bedroom or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm
Yeah.
looking at the paraphernalia on the table. You
Right.
know, it's like, yeah, man, it's like I don't, it's funny because I don't think the plight of young boys who have mothers that date is ever talked about.
Mm.
Like I never hear people talk about that. Yo, the shit is low key traumatizing, bro. Like the shit is low
Yeah,
key
I used to.
traumatizing.
Yeah, I think that was kind of like where I started developing certain levels of anger. Yeah.
Mm,
So I don't know. I used to be real. I used to be kind of messed up about that. I didn't really like that at all. If I can go back
mm-hmm,
to some of those memories, I didn't like it at all. But I eventually grew to accept that it is what it is. But
mm-hmm,
it's kind of crazy because in hindsight, when you look at it now, I don't think my kids are like the opposite.
mm,
I think my kids don't mind their mom dating somebody
mm.
else.
I mean, it
You
could be.
know?
I mean, you won't know until the next 10, 15 years when you can sit down and talk to them about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm saying when
Yeah.
they have a better handle on their own emotions and feelings, and they
Hmm.
can tell you how it was, because you don't even, well, we don't really know what the narrative is about us between them and their mother, right?
Hmm.
Like you can't be a fly on that wall, you know, over the years where you frustrated her and she said things about you around them, and how it
Hmm.
kind of built up an ongoing conversation just with them about you, you know.
Hmm.
And it'll be until they become adults that they can sit down and tell you, you know, Dad, I thought X, Y, and Z. You know, you like what? Like for
Right.
real? Like yeah, because this happened, that happened. Like you know, it's one of those things, bro. But
It kind of can get crazy a little bit because, like my house kind of played the good cop, bad cop thing, and I always had to be the bad cop, right?
mm,
So throughout me always being the person, I'm gonna call your daddy,
mm-hmm,
you know,
mm-hmm,
in the midst of a separation, their
got
alliance gonna lie more towards their mom because they don't understand my role as a father
got
or why they have to be like I'm gonna call your daddy as the
mm-hmm,
disciplinary or
mm-hmm,
the thing that the man that set the law around the house.
mm-hmm,
They pretty much gonna go where it's more where they're more nurtured at. And I think maybe that was, it's a good thing as a father, but then at the same time it also can bite you with your relationship with your kids because
mm-hmm.
you know, they not gonna understand your level of discipline until they older and
Right, right, right.
it comes to a good thing for them. Like, oh man, this is why my dad used to be like that. Or when they have
Good.
kids and they understand to fall under the
Yeah.
same law to make sure
Don't
that
put
they
the
kids in
yeah.
line. Yeah.
So
So
so let's talk about your transition into becoming a husband, because if I remember correctly, there was some years prior, right? Like how many years was it prior to you actually marrying your wife?
like 20 years.
So 20 years prior to the marriage itself,
Right.
right? And so but and
So
I know
what?
a lot of that was as kids too, right? But I'm saying like as adults, like fully grown adults, how many years we talking?
Fully grown adults. We was
Yeah.
together probably from like consistently from like 18 or 19. No, probably from
Mm-hmm.
like 19. So 19, the whole 20s, probably like 12, 13 years.
Okay, cool. So, and in that time, you guys had your children, right?
Yeah.
And okay.
Yeah.
And for you, it sounds normal. I mean, you had grandparents that were rocking out, what I
Mm-hmm.
mean, for decades without being married. So, my guess would be this was no big deal to you. I'm saying that as the years was going by, like the idea of getting married, I would guess you didn't feel drawn towards it, in the
Mm-hmm.
same way that maybe she was drawn towards it. Mind you, I know nothing about her. I've only been asking you about you. Is that fair to say? Like, I mean, so much time had gone by. I mean, you could have got married
Right.
years prior, but you didn't. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that informed how you were thinking at that time?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just didn't see it as an important thing because I was too busy playing the game of life. And
Mm-hmm.
so, she used to kind of mention it here and there,
Mm-hmm.
and it just kind of like seemed unrealistic for me at the
Mm-hmm.
time. Well, like growing up, going to like 20, 21,
Mm-hmm.
22, 23, 24. Uh, marriage was like the absolute last thing on my mind. But I did
Mm-hmm.
propose. I proposed to her when I was around like 23
Mm-hmm.
or 23, 24, something like that. I proposed, and it was a dope proposal. It was like super dope. Me and my wife, uh, our ex-wife, whatever. We'll soon see how that turns out. But we had met in the sixth grade,
Mm-hmm.
and when I did propose to her, I proposed in the at the school at the school where we
Mm-hmm.
met at. It's like in the baseball field. And I surprised her, brought her up there, and I had like a dinner set up there, a table set up, and
Mm-hmm.
um, my
Now,
sister
why why did
came.
why did you do this?
I was going through some stuff at the time, and the way that she responded to what we was going as she responded to what we was going through at the time, it made me feel like, you know what, she's solid. Um, this is my second child with her. This is after I had my daughter. Um, and she's deserving of that title, a title um that's deeper than just being my girlfriend.
Hmm.
And
Had you
so I
had
just
you
felt like it was
had
time
you
for
at that
to do that.
time had you at that time
I
had
can't
a
hear you.
conversation?
Hold
You
on.
can't hear me? Oh, I ain't changed nothing.
Let me see.
Yo, 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 you can hear me? Oh, he has some technical difficulties. I'm sure he'll be right back. Okay, here he come now. Can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
yeah, I hear you.
So at that particular time when you were deciding that what she's deserving of a bigger title, um had you thought about, well, not even had you thought about, but did you understand that you were making a transition, or did you think it would just kind of be more of the same but with different titles
I think when I think
at
back
that time?
when I think back about it, I think that kind of was my head. It'd be the same. That's where my head was at. It'd be the same thing with different titles. I
Mm-hmm.
I definitely wasn't looking at it like, my life was gonna change dramatically as a husband.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't looking
Mm-hmm.
at it that way, and that's how I know when I look back at it, I wasn't ready to be a husband, quote
Mm-hmm.
unquote,
Mm-hmm.
back then. But so this is what the conversation is all based around, right? The
Mm-hmm.
conversation is based around what does a husband look like, right?
Yeah. So
So
my next question would have been, uh, so now we're married. When is the first time it dawns on you that this is different? Like, I'm somebody's husband now. Like, it could be any moment. What can you think about?
it never dawned on me.
Mm,
It never dawned on me. I just kept on playing life. And
mm,
and my outlook on life was always build legacy. And as long as
Mm,
I'm building legacy, I'm doing the right thing for my family.
mm,
And I just did the marriage. So, like you said, it was nothing about sex, of course, with me being a grown man, but I did the
mm,
marriage. So, so you can understand how I view you in my life, the
mm,
importance that I view you in my life. And, that would make you happy. It really wasn't really solely based off of my happiness. Like, and I won't say that I won't demise my decision to get married based off of just her wanting to do so, but
mm,
it would dramatically fall on me doing it because eventually our arguments start becoming uh you're never going to marry me, right?
mm, mm,
And it was like, man, I just felt like it was just time to go ahead and do that. But once I did get married, I can't really even recall a time to where I just feel like, I felt like a different person, or, I felt like my responsibilities was different. I always viewed her as somebody I love, somebody I that I feel responsible to take care of. I feel responsible to provide the best life I can provide. Somebody
mm,
that I don't only love you, I love your kids, I love your grandkids, I love your future, I love your past, I love everything about you. I'll lay across a moving train for you. You get what I'm
mm.
saying? I I I I want to provide the world for you. I want to do, I loved her to that stature. So me signing a paper didn't didn't enhance it more, or it didn't decrease it more. I kind of still had the same thing. I'm still dedicated to you. Right.
Did you notice a change in her becoming a wife?
Yeah, I did. I noticed her being more intentional about where she felt like she fell short at with
Mm,
being a girlfriend, I guess,
mm,
or fiance. You know, it was just different things I probably had complaints about, and she intentionally was trying to better herself in those areas so
mm,
she can be a wife. Now she took being a wife important.
mm,
She took being a wife important, and I wish that I would have took being a husband more important, but I
mm,
didn't.
mm. Practically speaking, what's one thing, just one, it don't have to be big, as a husband, now that you understand what that is, or your understanding of it has advanced, do you think that you slacked in that you would change based on what you just said? I wish I would have been better. Like practically, what's one thing you could have been better at as a husband?
Being more intentional and protecting her feelings. Being more
What you
intentional.
mean? Like be like practically speaking, like give me an example. Like what you mean by that?
I kind of was still just doing whatever I was doing. That kind of referred back to where I looked at where I was raised into, what kind of marriage I was raised into.
Hmm.
So I kind of was just doing the same thing, and
Nothing
sometimes
about
doing
your life changed. You
nothing. Nah, not really.
I
Nah,
got you. I got
not
you. I
really.
got you. You look, we got married. We did the thing, you know what I mean? Like what
Yeah.
it's still me. Like I'm
But it
still
was so
me.
much deeper than that. I'll share an intimate moment that I had with my wife that that tops any other intimacy that I've ever experienced in my life. One
Okay.
time I was, stressed out. The party buses and stuff wasn't going out how they supposed to, and
Hmm.
we needed more money, right? And
Hmm.
that weight as a man, that weight becomes heavy. And so she
Hmm.
seen the heaviness that I was carrying, and one time she had put on high frequency music, and it was on YouTube. She put on high frequency music on YouTube, and when I
Hmm.
looked at the screen, it was like money coming out the screen, right? And it had this noise, and it just was like, and we was in a room, and she sat me down between her legs, and she started oiling my hair,
Hmm.
and she started massaging my head, and then she started speaking on top of my head. Now this was the most phenomenal outer body experience that we share with each other, right? And
Mm,
this was like this motivated me so much to where when once she spoke all this life into me as my wife, and this is why I see marriage and being one as a union as a powerful thing. This is why I see this as a powerful thing because when she did that, man, I went outside and did everything that was needed. You know, I came back with the bacon, chicken, eggs, everything that was needed. You know what I'm saying? It was it was heavily motivated, and I did it out of appreciation for her pouring into me like that. And I wanted to show her that I'm your man. I'm your man,
mm.
and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show up.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so I made sure, and I think part of us as a man is like, look, babe, look what I did. I
Hmm.
fixed the TV.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Whatever it is, I
Hmm.
fixed it. Here, look, babe, look at all the money. Like, whatever that accomplishment may be, that's motivated behind your woman and your family. Like every man loves to be appreciated and admired and acknowledged from
Mm,
they other half. You feel me? So it's like, damn, I want her to feel like I got Superman on me. Like,
mm,
damn, we was
mm,
going through this at the time, but after we shared this moment with each other, he showed up and showed out. And that motivated me so much that it was like not coming back home with what I needed to come back home with was not even an option.
mm,
And it wasn't even just solely, I can't say that it's solely based upon me or based upon her, but I feel like that alliance with God is
mm.
really what can make things go correctly how it needs to with the
Hmm.
universe. And so it was a
Well,
deep
you
thing.
felt encouraged. You felt
Uh-huh.
encouraged. You felt like
Yes.
you felt believed in, right? You felt believed in.
Yeah.
You felt encouraged. You felt appreciated. And so a lot of feeling down is a lack of those things. And she put the gas back on the fire, man. You was back at it. You know what I'm
Yeah, for sure.
saying? And
For
yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I love the way you lit up talking about that too. Like that's the most you lit up in the whole conversation.
Oh yeah.
Like that was now I'm saying that was a dope experience for you. Like I'm glad
Yeah.
I'm super happy. It's like you experienced the pinnacle of what a true union could be. You know what I mean? On
Right.
on your side, you literally told the story of what you need. Like
Hmm.
man, like that's what a brother need right
Right.
there.
For
Is
sure.
is is is
Hmm.
is that and
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. So at that so
Yeah.
at that particular point, now how many children you got, bro?
I got four.
Okay, cool. So how old were they when y'all got married? Like when y'all tied the knot?
Probably like 9, 8,
Okay.
6.
Did any of them relate to you differently after the marriage, or was that pretty much like nothing changed for
I
them?
think my kids was like happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they was happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just things I probably should have just took more into consideration. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Were they a part of the wedding?
no, because we got married in Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Got married in Vegas, and we had plans on like having an actual wedding, but we was in Las Vegas at a limousine convention, and
Okay.
everything was just aligned so perfect. We was learning a lot, and we was
Mm-hmm.
just feeling good, and was making great connections, and we was just seeing the growth from where our
Mm-hmm.
company was going at the time, and it just was like we was at Bruno Mars club, and it was like, man, let's
Mm-hmm.
go get married. That's how that
Did
happened.
did she speak any expectations to you at all? Like after we do this is what what I mean, beyond the getting married part, did she communicate anything to you about what she was hoping things would be like?
Um, not from what I can remember.
Mm,
Uh, I remember I don't know. It was just like a lot that went
mm,
on, yeah, between that time with
mm,
with our marriage. or when
Mm-hmm.
we was just newlyweds.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of shit that I did that I should have not did, or I should have
Mm-hmm.
took. If I can, I'll take that shit back. You know.
What energy do you think that came out of? Was it anxiety? Was it because I know for me, like for instance, before my children's mom got pregnant with my oldest, I was already kind of hell out here. Like I was already kind of doing my thing. She was
Hmm.
one of the women I was dealing with, but she got pregnant.
Hmm.
Like when she got pregnant, the anxiety drove. I went into overdrive. It was like I tried to act like she wasn't pregnant, you know,
Right.
like
Right.
and then after we went down to like the city hall and got married, I went into overdrive. Like I couldn't. It was like I couldn't face the situation. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I got married 3 times, but I never actually met a woman I wanted to marry. You know,
Damn.
I've to this day, I've never sat across from a woman and thought to myself, I want her to be my wife.
Damn.
I never did. It just always ended up that I was being pressed about a commitment, and I didn't want to lose this woman. So marriage seemed like the best thing to do at that particular
Hmm.
time. This is hindsight being 2020. I didn't even know a man. It sounds kind of silly to say, but it's true. I didn't know a man could arrive at a point to where he could look at a woman and say, I want you to be my wife. I think it's because like I watch my mom work every day, like as a single woman. I didn't, she was with my sister's father, but till I was like 14, 15. But I really didn't see the benefit of getting married to somebody, and I didn't know what a man gets in return
Hmm.
for it. I mean, this is pure ignorance I'm talking about. I am not saying that a man doesn't get anything or a man shouldn't get married. I'm saying that I didn't see the value of it. No
Hmm.
man had shown me like the light, as it were. Like, man, when you get married, it's like this. It's like, like I didn't. It all looked like a lot to deal with, is what I'm saying. It just looked like a lot. When you get married to a woman, it seemed like, and then this whole like happy wife, happy life thing. Like I ain't want to be bossed around. My last situation, she came with children, and so I never in my mind thought I would be able to take care of her and those children and my children. It never crossed my mind.
Hmm.
And she put me at ease early, like, nah, you ain't got to worry about all this. I got all this. I'm like, all right, but yeah, but to this day, and bro, I'm gonna tell you, I hope I do. Like, I hope someday I can be with a woman and be like, man, I want to marry you. Like, I want to be one with you. You
Hmm.
know, and this ain't coming out of no type of pressure, no desperation, no like nothing. It's just, man, you somebody I don't want to lose. Like,
Hmm.
I don't want it to come after the so are we gonna ever get married conversation. I wanted to
Right.
come from me, that I
Right.
just see this woman as somebody I want to have my last name. And
Hmm.
it was never that way, bro. And I think listening to your story and knowing about mine, it's like, man, we weren't raised to be husbands. We may
Hmm.
have been raised to be protectors and raised to be providers, and maybe even to an extent raised to be family men,
Hmm.
but raised to be a husband, I'm gonna say a big no. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I don't think, bro, I just never seen, and even to this day, man, I still don't see the benefit in it. Like I'm gonna just keep it a bean. Like culturally, I haven't seen where being somebody's husband is like, I don't know what the benefit is. Again, I'm not saying it ain't no benefit. I'm not saying it ain't one. I'm saying I haven't seen it, bro. Like I haven't.
Well, I feel like it's plenty of benefits. It's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of benefits that can come with being someone, being the right woman,
Uh-huh.
husband, right? Because
Yeah.
this is a contract that we're signing.
Mm-hmm.
And so this contract comes with a whole lot of different things. You got to
Mm-hmm.
be aligned with someone. So, everyone is different individuals, but if you
Mm-hmm.
find that one person that's aligned with you spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, then when you guys are aligned to that level, then the universe is at the tip of your hands.
Mm,
And the part of being together with somebody, being in union with someone, you
mm-hmm,
always, and I believe that's in the Bible, but I don't want to quote it correctly. I mean, I don't want to quote it incorrectly. But basically, though, being in union with someone is always better with two.
mm.
So you with someone else, you guys can manifest some crazy things. And
I believe that.
I've witnessed
Yeah,
that like
yeah,
multiple
yeah.
times of how,
I seen it too. And in my
yeah,
early in my last relationship, she was in with what I had going on. She was 100% with it. Like
hmm
she came in and improved my life immediately. You know
hmm
what I mean? She brought resources and time, but she wanted to exchange something for that. But
like what?
I wasn't clear on what she like. She didn't come to me letting me know what she wanted in exchange. Right. I
hmm
didn't know what she wanted in exchange.
hmm
Um, but she had an idea of what she wanted me to wind up being for her, is what I'm
hmm
saying. And as soon as I started to give off the vibe that I wasn't gonna become whatever she wanted, then she
hmm
started pulling back. You see, like she started being passive aggressive. She started pulling back on all of the support. And
hmm
I'm chasing her happiness. Like I'm chasing her. And to the point where she had pulled all the way back. And I wasn't getting any of it. And the
hmm
whole thing came. Now it's like a well. I can't fill up no more. Like she just
hmm
can't be happy no more. Now it's like, you see what I mean? Now my
That
partner
goes
from the
back into
beginning,
what you said. Okay.
mhm,
No,
the
that's what I
partner
was
that
gonna say.
the partner that was helping me in the beginning, I found myself for the last few years just trying to find her. Like maybe if
Mm,
I maybe if I keep saying yes to everything and giving her everything she want, I like she'd start being like that person again.
hmm
But that
hmm
person was long gone, bro. Like
Yeah,
she was long gone.
yeah.
And I don't fault her for it. I think that we're all negotiating, what we have to offer. We doing our best.
hmm
Look, this is the best I can offer. Let me see yours.
hmm
And maybe for the time being it's good enough, but as you get to know somebody, maybe you're like, man, but I'm gonna stay though because it's the right thing to do. I'm gonna stay. You start having all these other reasons you're trying to figure it out for.
hmm
So I could be totally wrong, bro. I have learned over the past couple of months that when after a long-term relationship, you don't realize how different other people are, right? You start putting a lot of your emphasis on women and relationships based on the one you're in, because it's the only one you've been in for the last decade. And
hmm
you get to talking to other people and they be kind of looking at you crazy, like, really?
hmm
You're like, oh no, oh y'all don't go through that. it's
Right,
like it's
right.
like, nah. She said that? Yeah, that's not normal. It's like, nah. And again, I ain't dissing her, you know what I'm saying, or none of my other wives. I'm just saying that it's like coming home after a war or coming home from a long prison stint. It's like, yo, bro,
hmm
you ain't got to keep saying you got to go to the toilet before you go to the toilet. Like, you can just go to the toilet.
Right, right,
It's like, oh,
right.
my bad. It's like that's what I know. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like that. So, and I know that, like I said, I know that you going through a different phase in your situation right now, and we can talk about that in another conversation if you want. You can share what you comfortable with, man. But we like about at the hour, you know what I'm saying, time, and I definitely appreciate what you shared so far.
Mm.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, hell yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely, bro, absolutely, bro. Like anytime, man. I love to sit and conversate about all this stuff,
Good,
and
because
even
the
and
next
even
question
more.
was, would you mind coming back?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. Whenever you want me to, brother, I'm always here. Whatever I need to do,
Yeah,
I'll go ahead and put it to the side, man, and
I
make sure
wanted
that
to
we
start here
have
though
our power hour.
because as we build on your story and just as you on your understanding about these issues moving forward, it's important for people who would follow you on the platform. It's important for them to have a foundational understanding. You know what I
hmm
mean about
hmm
where Vonte is. So when you do speak some wisdom later, they understand where
Right.
that's coming from. We ain't got to always go back to the beginning. They get
Yeah,
it, man.
no, for
You
sure.
was
And
raised,
that's just
by an Oakland player. Like I know something about that. You dig?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
so
yeah.
that's a whole vibe in itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And your
Mm-hmm.
mom obviously at some point in her life she was with that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
She was with that. That was something good to have in her life.
yeah,
You
for
know.
sure. For
You
sure.
know.
And I think, bro, like what I like to wrap up as far as the relations goes,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, man, the space I'm in right now is pouring into me,
Mm,
because, with my idea of being a man as a provider, as a protector, as a, a teacher and all these different things, you
mm-hmm.
know, before you know it, everyone can become selfless within a relationship. So, like how
Mm,
you said, you was, trying to do things to try to prove to her, like, hey, let's get back to where we was at first, So
mm.
whatever she demand or she asked for, you was at her command. You wanted to do whatever you had to do to please your woman,
Whatever.
right? So sometimes we get lost in that within a relationship, and you
Mm,
start realizing like how selfless you are. And I think pouring into yourself is very, very, very important for men
mm,
and for women. You got to
mm,
learn how to pour into yourself and find out different things. Since I've been going through whatever I'm getting through,
mm,
uh, I've been figuring out different things for myself. I done found new
mm.
hobbies. I ride bikes. You
Yeah.
know, I done felt in
Yeah.
love with the sunset. I love watching the
Mm.
sunset. Um, just
You
different.
know,
I stay
you
in Houston,
figuring you out.
Texas.
You
I'm
figuring
figuring
you
me
out.
out.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
figuring me out, and it's nothing better than that. You know what I'm saying? It's like you better yourself. So where
Mm,
if you did get aligned with someone else, you know, you, I'm pretty sure whoever that person may be, they working on themselves too to just be
yep.
better for who God is aligning you to be.
Yeah.
So as long as you listening and following your inter divine feelings and finding yourself to a
Mm.
high stature, you're gonna be a hell of a person, and you're gonna be ready for whenever that opportunity comes to where love really is at your front door for that person that's gonna end it with you, who you
Now
gonna be with for the rest of your life.
imagine what you just said. I think that is an excellent piece that you just spoke.
Yeah.
Imagine a husband, somebody who was a husband, meeting 19-year-old Vonte
Uh-huh.
and telling 19-year-old Vonte what you just told me,
Right.
right? About getting to know yourself, figuring yourself out, and
Right.
understanding that you are bringing a person to a marriage. You're bringing a person as a husband, like that's a whole, like becoming a husband and a family man is another journey. Here
Mm-hmm.
you are trying to mix in your personal journey of growth
Mm-hmm.
in with the whole nother journey of being somebody's husband. You ain't even got time to fully be a husband and fully be a father because you still figuring out that you enjoy sunsets. You
Yeah.
understand? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like,
Right.
bro, this ain't the time.
Right.
It's like you should probably spend a few years. And I wouldn't even say that nobody ever said that to me. I just think that nobody I trusted enough or nobody that had a life that I wanted to emulate, I should say,
Mm-hmm.
uh, came to me and explained these things to me as a man. And I think that's what I hope that these conversations can help
Mm-hmm.
do is sort of introduce. And this particular one is, yo, man, as a young man, G, you have permission to not be out like chasing manhood ain't about how many women you can get. Like that's just one like small part of growing into becoming a man.
Mm-hmm.
Another one is finding out what it's like to try to travel around the world alone, just alone, not for the purposes of bumping into other women other places either. It's
Mm-hmm.
like travel to Brazil, bro, to see the sights and taste the food
Right.
on your own,
Right.
right? like
Right.
like like get a taxi and ride around and go through situations, like not to look for women, bro, just to figure out that you like these kinds of spices.
Right.
Bring a fully developed young man to a relationship as much as you can. Read a few books, bro. Build a business. Fail, succeed. Learn how to
Mm-hmm.
work on a car. Learn how to learn, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Get your head around you as a person before
Mm-hmm.
you take on somebody else's life, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And in
Yeah.
my opinion, those are not the narratives that get explained to young black boys from broken homes. It's just not
Mm-hmm.
something I didn't even know I had permission to do that, bro. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't now in my I do that now. I go sit down at a restaurant by myself in a minute, bro, happily with a smile on my face. You
Yeah.
dig?
Yeah.
like I'm trying new stuff. Give me that on the side. I just want to see if I like that.
Yeah.
Sit there for a minute, man. Take a breather, bro, and go home happy and go to sleep. Like life is good. You feel
Yeah.
me? But
Yeah.
look at all of the people that had to get hurt behind me now finally being able to do that.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? I could have did it years ago, but I
Mm-hmm.
did I just didn't know, and that's not an excuse. It's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely appreciate you for being so open and raw. Before we get out of here, bro, I want you to take a couple of minutes and just kind of explain your business and let us see what the business is. This for me. I just
Okay.
if you want to, man, you know what I'm saying? You got time to do that?
Yeah. 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 So I'm in the transportation. I'm in the transportation industry. I've been having like party buses and sprinters and stuff since like 2016. I designed a Mercedes Maybach Sprinter that's real popular in Houston. It's very nice. And then so recently, I designed a see-through party bus, and the see-through party bus is like a viral vehicle, and that's like millions and millions and millions of views on all platforms of social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all that stuff. And it's like a
What's the name?
worldwide
What's the name?
phenomenon.
What's the name of the company? Like, what's the name of your
It's
company?
called Glass Party Bus.
Okay.
Called Glass Party Bus. So I'll show you guys kind of, this is like the outside of it right here.
Man, that's cold.
Um, so we got two of them.
Mm,
We're starting to open up the opportunity for franchising now, but
mm,
pretty much this is this is like the new level of transportation, the new level of
mm,
experiencing a party bus and having a good time while riding through the city, and being able to interact with the different audiences that's riding past you guys or that you guys are riding past. It's a one-on-one experience. It's like nothing like
man.
it. We've been in a few different videos with Sexy Red. We've been in Sexy Red, Central C, uh, uh, JT. Uh, just a lot of different. It's a lot of different opportunities that it came with it. So eventually, we're gonna start spreading out to different states and cities. Right now, we're just in Houston, Texas. But if y'all stay tuned, follow the Glass Party Bus on social media, Instagram, TikTok, all that, and just stay in tune.
Man, I love it, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You doing your thing, King. You
yeah,
still
for
you
sure.
still a real, you still a real young man, bro. There's a whole bunch of lessons to still be learned.
Yeah, definitely,
you
100%,
know, you know what I'm
100%.
saying? But I'm excited for you because you most of all because you have made yourself available for
Mm,
the lessons. You know what I mean?
mm,
You a young guy having money, bro. You could be interrupting all of this healing and building with all types of distractions. There's all
right,
types of distractions you could be giving to yourself, but you
right.
seem to you seem to have enough sense to know that it's not worth it on the other end of that. You
Yeah,
know.
absolutely. I mean, pouring into yourself. And we had a conversation the other day, man, and you
Mhm.
highlighted something that I didn't even think of. You
Mm.
was like, man, because I told you that I work out, I
Mhm.
ride bikes like a few times a week for miles, like
Mhm.
on every Thursday. I'm with a group called Clutch City Cruisers. We ride
Mhm.
like 13 miles on a bicycle
Mm.
every Thursday. And then between that, I ride the bicycle myself. So, and I go to the gym on the
Mm.
daily basis. I'm 5 times
Mhm.
a week in the gym. I eat healthy. I eat fruit, drink orange juice.
Yeah.
I like plants. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Just these are all different things that you tune into yourself. When you start learning about yourself, you start figuring out different things. Hey man, because what society tells us what we supposed to be is, I'm supposed to like tequila and turning up and pouring bottles,
Hennessy.
pouring liquor into hoes' mouth, and you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying, going to the
yeah.
club and doing all this. But I didn't been there and I didn't done that. You get what I'm saying? So
Mm,
now I'm trying to experience and figure out different things. Like I'd rather go listen to some live music. You feel me?
mm,
I'm not trying to listen to Sexy Red all day long. You get what
mm,
I'm saying?
mm,
I ain't trying to see the same hoes hanging out
mm,
hanging at the red light, twerking on the headlights. I ain't
mm.
trying to see that.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, I'm
yeah, yeah.
trying. I'm trying to experience something else. So man, I wake up in the morning. You know, I got my little thing right here. I water my plants.
Yes,
I cut
sir.
on
Yes, sir.
high frequency music. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man. You know, it's just like player vibes. You feel me? It's like
Yeah.
just learning something new and being and thinking outside the box. So, but once again, though, man, I appreciate you for getting at me and lighting up that, like, damn, man, you choosing to do that instead of choosing to turn into alcohol or turn into drugs to
Self-destruct.
cope with different issues and stuff you might be going through. So, I appreciate you for even highlighting that, because I wasn't. It never been on my mind so much to where I didn't even peep that
Mhm.
that wasn't an option that I was taking. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, but the character base that makes a man your age do that is why you're successful.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like it's a thing that we pick up from somewhere, some man, some situation. It's like it's a slim road to walk, but the choices you could make that you don't make are why you are where you are, is what I'm trying to say. Because they
Right.
all available.
Right. For
That's what
sure.
I'm trying to say. Like
For sure.
you can hop off on the phone right now and get self-destructive if you feel like it. Like
Right.
they all there, bro.
Right.
That's why I salute you. That's why I know that the sky's the limit for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because right now every distraction could be tearing you apart, and it's not. And
Hmm.
and I'm comfortable enough saying most men in your position would be facing an indictment of some sort right now. Like you
Yeah.
would absolutely take that real money that you've made and put it somewhere it don't belong.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Like bro,
Right.
bro. And I know the opportunities to do that are right there. Like they're always right there. But choosing to do the right thing is why you are where you are. That's why I say I salute that, bro. Like
Hmm.
it's a real cool thing, man.
Hmm.
You're gonna go real far, man. It's a pleasure to know you, bro. And I definitely want to have you back on, man. And we're gonna get into, if you comfortable, you know what I'm saying, the next time about you know what I mean, why things aren't, at a premium level, you know what I mean, in other parts of your life. But thank you again, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be
Absolutely.
tagged at the glass party bus gonna be tagged and everything, bro. So this should be out within the next day, all right?
Yeah. So do Last Party Bus. That's my business page, but my personal page is V Bucks V dot Bucks. So yeah, this
Okay,
real
bet.
personal right here. So you can go ahead and tag V
My
Bucks for
man,
this one.
we
You know what
on.
I'm
Yes,
saying? And
sir.
everybody follow the business Glass Party Bus. And I appreciate the time, bro. And I
For
can't
sure,
wait till our
bro.
next conversation. So let's
Indeed,
get
man.
it.
Have
I
a great rest of
appreciate
your
it.
day.
All right, for
All
sure.
right, peace,
Love,
peace.
brother.
For
Okay.
sure. Man, peace to my guy Vonte, man, for tapping in. He gonna be tagged. If you made it this far, thank you again. I am MRK SX. This is and was Confessions of a Failed Family, man. The podcast. Um, please support if you want to support. There's merch attached to this video. You can check it out. Make sure you subscribe to That Feeling Podcast. I got music. www.mrksx.com. I'm no longer using DSPs, no more Apple Music, no more Spotify. Everything moving forward is going to be straight direct to you. So you can sign up on a mailing list. I got an album dropping on the 13th of October, fully produced by Illustrate, called All Is Well. Other than that, man, I see y'all tomorrow. Gone.